This is a great opportunity for me to promote my new movie, Deadpool 2, in theaters Friday.
Oh, man, the marketing of this movie has been so much fun.
Are you involved in these things?
Completely. We love it. We're like giddily texting and emailing each other in the middle of the night, like, what if we tried this?
Unlike Deadpool 2 Super Duper Cut, available now on Blu-ray and digital.
The Deadpool trilogy has the best marketing campaign of any film franchise. And here's one for you. 5 days before Deadpool 2 released, they dropped a short skit with apologies to David Beckham.
You ever heard David Beckham speak? It's like he mouth-sexed a can of helium.
Then Deadpool goes on to say sorry in a variety of ways.
Too soon? Yeah, too soon.
It's nothing too crazy. Other than bring on David Beckham, it's not a high-budget production. But when you combine all of the views this video got across its 2 uploads, this video got 54 million of them. That's more than the movie's main trailer got. Now, the trailer is normally the most important piece of marketing for any film. And the fact this sketch got more than that, how much smaller would Deadpool 2's nearly $800 million box office be if they'd never released this? And it's not just this video, I say that like it's news. I'm sure you guys know full well that over the past few years, they've been releasing a litany of sketches and videos on YouTube where Deadpool is front and center, making his witty meta jokes, like when he parodied Bob Ross.
Whack that off real good. Just beat it like it owes you money. Holy fuck knuckles, I am high as a kite right now.
That cost maybe an afternoon of a film crew's and Ryan's time, some painting supplies, a wig, and that grossed them 24 million views. Why can't I get views as easily as that? Jesus Christ. It feels like guerrilla marketing, in that they invest so little only to yield such incredible results. Genuinely, the only other film franchise to do something on this level is Star Wars, and I doubt it was intentional from Disney, because it's when they let Adam Driver host SNL and they made undercover boss Starkiller Base.
Hearing that Zach lost his son really struck a nerve with me. Especially since I'm the one that killed him.
Yes, it's a comedy sketch, but it's the same idea as Deadpool's videos. It got a stupid amount of views, and that will do wonders for any IP's awareness. So, to any potential movie execs watching, how do you replicate a campaign like Deadpool's? Simply, you don't, because Deadpool has a unique advantage over other characters. Due to the fourth wall-breaking nature of who he is, he can do a YouTube reaction video, and it can work great.
Hello there, and what's up, Reaction Faction? It's Deadpool. Last week, you all really liked my Cruella trailer reaction video. Where are the f***ing dogs?
But could you imagine Spider-Man or the characters from Jurassic Park making these kinds of fourth wall breaks? Like, it wouldn't work. It's a very rare type of character who can make these meta videos. But there is still a lot of interesting stuff going on under the hood of Deadpool's marketing campaign. And just because you can't copy it exactly, that doesn't mean it's not a fascinating case study in great marketing. Hands down, the most notable thing about Deadpool's marketing campaign is how they've reframed the base concept of what an ad is. Deadpool ads aren't really advertisements. They're content, and it's content that you genuinely want to watch. Content where when you see it in your recommended feed, you go,
yes, please.
And click it right away. You can look back at the Old Spice commercials, and they were more or less this.
Hey, this is my commercial!
I'd like to agree with you, but then why are we on a horse?
Oh no! His signature Joe!
They're so funny and creative that you don't just not mind seeing them, but people actively seek them out. Someone did a compilation of all the Terry Crews ones, and it's got 25 million views. God damn.
Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Spice Body Spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial!
But why is this such a great strategy? Well, in being a full-time creator on YouTube now for going on 5 years, I've learned a thing or two about how to effectively convince people to engage with an advert. And here's one principle. The more similar the problem the video helps solve and the problem the brand sponsoring it helps solve, the better that video performs. And speaking of which, today's video is sponsored by
Shadow Legend.
With the all-new champion Ronda Rousey, for some reason, there's never been a better time to play. All you need to do to win is take out a second mortgage, so be sure to... But, this video is not sponsored by them. I just did that to prove a point. Did you feel the urge to skip ahead right there? Did you actually? Like, most of you probably did, because that right there is the textbook worst way to integrate an ad. The value of this video has nothing to do with the value of that game. Not that that game has any value, but if I were instead to make a video on how to do a certain transition in a video editing software, and the sponsor of that video has some paid transition templates you can buy, that would perform significantly better, because 100% of the people watching are actively trying to solve the problem that this product solves. How does this relate to Deadpool? Well, firstly, let's ask, why do we watch a Deadpool movie? It's because we want to be entertained, we want to see more of his character, and we want a good laugh from his witty meta jokes. Those three things, every last Deadpool skit provides that, and the importance of this cannot be understated. This is key to the genius of this franchise's marketing. Due to all of these ads basically being bite-sized pieces of normal Deadpool content where we see him breaking the fourth wall and being funny, if someone stumbles across a Deadpool ad and maybe they find Deadpool's reaction to Stan Lee's cameo hilarious,
wow, nice suit. Zip it, Stanley!
They are more or less guaranteed to enjoy the Deadpool movies, making it such a silky smooth sale process. Look at Old Spice. And yes, the ads are funny, there's no denying that, but have you ever bought any Old Spice product? I never have, despite the fact that I've watched pretty much all of their ads several times over, and isn't that interesting? It's because the value of the advert being it's funny, and the value of the products being it's deodorant, are two totally different things. They're worlds apart. But with Deadpool, it's a completely different story. Because the appeal of the ad and the appeal of the movie are identical, this boosts sales in a way most other brands can only dream of replicating. It's when a strong connection like this exists between video and brand that's the golden recipe for leveraging platforms like YouTube to generate sales. More than that, normally an advert will resonate with a problem you have in your daily life and offer you a solution, but something like Deadpool's ads create a problem. That problem being that you've just realized that you love Deadpool and you've run out of videos to binge. It's created a demand within you for more of this kind of stuff, and it's solved when you realize, Deadpool 3 is coming out in a few days. Guess I'll just watch that. This approach to advertising, it's not something they invented with Deadpool. A lot of savvy business people have been doing exactly this for decades. As Jeff Walker writes in Launch,
a highly effective marketing approach is delivering value and building a relationship with your customer before you ever ask for the sale. It sounds simple, but it's crazy how few people apply this. Instead, people do the equivalent of standing on the street corner shouting, "Buy my stuff! Buy my stuff!" The problem is, no matter what market you're in, there are tens or hundreds or thousands of people screaming the same thing, many of them able to do it louder or for far longer than you ever could. Instead of screaming for attention, you attract attention by giving value before there's any hint of asking for a sale.
To give you a glimpse under the hood, I've been doing exactly that with this channel. I've been making these videos for 7 years now, and early next year, I'll be publishing my first novel. Hooray! But while I've critiqued all sorts of things from The Last of Us Part 2 to the Star Wars sequels, and while they have made for decent essays, it's also been me being a bit cheeky, really, as I'm showing off my storytelling skills by saying, here's specifically where the story went wrong, and here's how it could have been better, and then I maybe even sometimes rewrite the story. And what that means is when I go and sell my novel next year, it'll hopefully sell much better than if I'd made an otherwise equally as successful movie review channel, where I simply say, this movie is good or bad, and little more than that. And that's this principle in action. Deadpool's campaign is genius in a wholly other way. It's also a brilliant way to exploit YouTube's algorithm. So this is the watch time graph of one of my old videos, and I wonder if you can tell where the brand deal is. It's not terribly hard to see, to be honest. Pretty much every creator has a drop exactly like that when they have their brand deal as people skip ahead, and that's a massive issue because any drop in watch time will mean fewer views. But when you have ad integrations as smooth as Deadpool's, there is no dip in the middle. This means the watch time is even higher, and thus it reaches even more people. But in all honesty, that whole point was a bit of a side note, really. The true brilliance of this strategy lies in how there's an eternal problem in advertising, because as a marketer, how do you ensure that the right person is seeing your ad? If your answer is, oh, it doesn't matter. My target audience is everyone. You're fucked. Unless your name is Coca-Cola, of course. And you always see these ads on the sides of buses in the form of posters, and they're obviously worthwhile, otherwise they wouldn't do them, but they're not ideal because they're the shotgun approach to marketing. Everyone can see a poster, from edgy teens who are Deadpool's perfect target audience, which is deeply ironic because Deadpool is an R-rated movie franchise, all the way to grumpy old people who'd much rather be watching Downton Abbey, or something equally as boring. And that's not ideal for most brands because there are far more efficient ways of marketing out there. And this is why Facebook ads and YouTube pre-rolls are worth considerably more than any poster could be, because they can offer far more targeted advertising. But here's the magic of YouTube's algorithm. Let's say that you watch a bunch of YouTube videos and you love them to bits. You like and subscribe, which, by the way, I'd appreciate if you did the same for this video, wink wink, nudge nudge. But let's say that Shutterstock Tom over here has very similar watching patterns to you. What this will mean is now all those videos you watched will be shown to Tom, and bringing him into the Deadpool ecosystem. I'd argue this is significantly better than traditional targeted advertising because instead of looking at demographics like men, women, people under 20, the YouTube algorithm has no need to do that because it has such a nuanced grasp of all of your tastes and idiosyncrasies. How could it not? You watch 200 videos a day. That mountain of data means they know everything about you Big Brother style, and while that might give one some existential anxiety, it also means people are being recommended stuff based on their tastes in media, which is a near perfect proxy for if they'll like Deadpool, over like mere demographics, which is more of a loose proxy. And best of all for Deadpool's marketing team, the algorithm does all of that, and it doesn't charge you a penny.
What do I owe you? Nothing. It's for free. Free!
Which makes it a precisely targeted ad campaign, getting hundreds of millions of impressions on their target audience. Forget just merely watching the video themselves, hundreds of millions of people are seeing this in their recommended feed, and that alone is reminding them of the Deadpool brand. And the only cost of this whole campaign is the upfront one of just making the video. It's a very powerful marketing method that we're probably going to see more of as the years tick by, as the movie industry gradually realizes the power of leveraging social media. Turns out the key to getting your adverts seen is to make adverts people want to see. Go figure. And it's not the easiest thing making these videos. I'll never make an essay for you that just regurgitates the stuff that you probably know, otherwise what would be the point? And I found that when I have the right resources on hand, making fresh insights is so much easier. One resource I used a ton in the research phase of this video, and one I think you'll find bloody useful if you're an entrepreneur in the creative space like me, is Skillshare, today's sponsor. I've said before that Skillshare has a ton of great courses on creative writing, and it does. But a big part of why I love it is because if you're in the creative space, maybe you're a novelist, or a YouTuber, or an entrepreneur, Skillshare has a massive catalogue of classes from industry experts on the topics that you need to learn about. Like, I'm sure you've heard the concept of a sales funnel, but do you know how one's meant to work in detail? If you ever plan on selling anything to anyone at any point, like a novel or a product, this is vital knowledge. And you can watch Maggie Starr's excellent class on the topic, which taught me everything I needed to know. They've been a sponsor of my channel for over 5 years now, and it's because I found they've always delivered a consistently useful service, and I know that if you're even remotely like me, you will too. If you'd like to join up and broaden your mind with all kinds of useful knowledge, all you've got to do is be one of the first 500 people to click my link, and you'll get a whole month of it free. If it turns out it's not for you, no problem. You can just cancel in that month and you won't be charged a penny. So if you've never checked out Skillshare before, now's the time to give it a try. Do click my link down below if you're interested. Anyway, thanks for watching, keep writing, and I'll see you guys next time on The Closer Look.